Hey, we're
All right.
back.
How we doing, boys?
Very good,
Good.
very good.
Nice little
Hello,
2
everyone.
weeks.
Welcome
2
to
week
Thursday
break.
Club. So we're on episode 6 now, lads. Back again after our week-long hiatus at Cheltenham races. How are we all feeling? Have we mended?
Yeah, a lot better than I felt last week. That's for sure. Yeah,
Feel a bit better. Would have liked a few more winners, but never mind.
yeah.
So today we're talking how low can Sorare go? So brace yourselves. We're also going to touch on the internationals and a little bit about our usual slots as well. And we've got a comp coming up where we're going to also draw our winner. So lads, as always, we've got Sorare Mamba and Tornado with us. Ricky, I've got a question to start with on you. Yep. Are you the most successful FPL draft manager on Sorare ever?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did pay extra attention to it because we ran our private league. But yeah, it turns out I've won 3 influencer leagues and came top 5 in John Nellis's as well. So it looks like I've got 4 sets of tickets coming my way.
You didn't pay attention to it. Oh, yeah, I didn't pay attention to it.
No, I did. I did.
Whatever. You on it all the time.
Mate, yeah. Unreal.
That is unreal.
Away with the FPL General, you know, a few things coming up. So yeah,
I genuinely think you might, at this point in time, be the most successful Sorare FPL draft manager.
It has gone very well. Yeah, I think because of our league, I was really trying. I really focused on, you know, putting out that best side because I really wanted to beat you two, and it's all come up rosy for Millhouse over here.
I'd like to think Thursday Club played a big part in that, mate. So
I undoubtedly I thank Thursday.
I'm hoping you look after Thursday Club in return.
Yeah.
Which pitch, which ground are you most excited to maybe get tickets to?
Definitely not Goodison Park. That would be
sure?
My lowest. Yeah. I don't know. I think the FPL General's top prize was a trip with him to Celtic Park or Old Trafford. So you know,
tasty.
Those would be nice. I'd like something down.
Where would you rather go? So you're obviously a United fan, but don't you reckon going to Celtic would be pretty cool?
That would be insane, wouldn't it?
I think it would be insane, but I'm not sure Sorare are going to fork out for accommodation and travel, are they? So
I'm sure Quinny will let you sleep in his little studio, won't he?
Maybe I'll have to hit up some of the Scottish boys and see if they want to join in. But
you have to take that shirt off, mate. I tell you, you won't be wearing that up there.
Yeah. Well, come on, we're 2-0 up against Italy as we speak.
Isn't that the Gaza shirt versus Colin Hendry over the top?
Southgate himself.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
I was saying, John, why is that number so small?
Because this is what they went for. That's the design.
It is weird. Yeah.
I've got the Beckham 97 one up at the back there as well, somewhere as well.
That's a classic.
You know, always ready.
So, lads, I think before we get going, we should probably celebrate Rick's big victory, being top dog in the draft. I also owe a bit of a punishment anyway.
For coming
Johnny, you're an Everton fan, so I feel like you probably should drink with us anyway.
I've just been mid-table mediocrity in our FPL every single week. I think I've been second out of the 3 of us every week, but I'll do one anyway.
Yeah, it must be tough,
FPL mate. And promoting rival competitions.
Yeah.
This is so rare.
It's so rare draft.
I didn't mean FPL. I meant so rare Premier League. Sorry, everyone.
Good point. Good point.
I also won super rare this week, which is one of my reasons for doing a Sorare bomb. So yeah, I do owe you one of the finest whiskies and a lager for me.
I'm on the same, mate. Beautiful whiskey and lager.
I've got a Thatcher's and I've got a bit of Amaretto, which is all I can find in the cupboard at short notice.
Content is obviously going to be really good this week as we all get plastered at the start of the episode.
It's all downhill from here, lads.
Cheers. Up the Thursday Club.
That's what you do at the start. Right. Anyway, let's get into it. Weekly ramble. So for those that haven't listened before, we start off with a little news round. There you go, it's kicking already. News recap, and then a few points of interest. Let's start with JD this week, mate. What is your little ramble?
So I wanted to start rambling about my Sorare mega. I've just choked on my Sorare bomb there. Sorry. So obviously I had a very successful week. I think it was the week before Cheltenham. So I won a Carl's Gill Limited, which has been top of my list of, cards to get pretty much for 2 years I've been on the platform.
Yeah, it's great. Since when he's gone to shit. Thanks for that.
Yeah, it got injured first game, obviously. That's how it works. And I also won Sorare Mega 3, which I was thrilled about, which resulted in me
Big prize, surely.
Which resulted in me doing a Twitter giveaway. I was so excited. I did a Twitter giveaway. First ever one. I got about 1 billion notifications. I was mad. But loads of people entered. Finally got my Sorare Mega 3 prize. And it was the week they screwed up the prize list. They sent Sorare because of the change in tiers. And all of the winners from that game week got a tier 3 rather than a tier 2. Bearing in mind the tier 2s they were giving out were like the previous ones were Anthony Rare, starting goalkeeper Rare. Who was the other one? Oh, it was Immobile Rare. So I was like, right, I'm getting something good here. And I got an ex-Watford player that is injured and plays for Salernitana. It's worth £40. So the card that I'm giving away, well, I've already given away as the prize, is worth, I think it was worth about £35. So I made a £5 net profit there. That's decent. But
so that's the same week, John.
It was still good. Obviously, it got a lot of people into following the channel. Had a lot of good comments about previous episodes that they've watched, and yeah, obviously there was 2 winners. I think one person won a rare Holt, which was, I think he played for Livingston, and then another guy won 2 limited cards, which was Thomas Rotter and James Garner.
Nice.
So yeah, two people. Happy to spread the love.
That week, then everyone who got prizes got bumped up, and then you got bumped down. Yeah,
effectively, yeah.
Ironically, that I got 8 prizes that week. One of my most successful weeks. Had a load of low tier stuff, and they all came up Millhouse for me, and I had loads of big pools.
There was a lot of success stories on Twitter of people doing really well on Sorare, and actually the 4 little Sorare mega winners got completely stitched up. Sorare, quite rightly, because I raced a ticket and obviously hassled about 58 people trying to get them to fix it. Sorare, quite rightly, were like, we don't change third-party prizes, which is fair enough. That makes sense. It was Sorare Mega's fault that people sent the wrong list. So
did they know who they were speaking to though? Did you say you were from Thirsty Club?
I should have said, I am really, but no, it was all right in the end. It's fine. It's a free game. Like, they're doing a good job. I've been doing Sorare Mega for a couple of years. I've won a couple of cards through it now, and I would have loved a better card, but it's a free game, and if you haven't tried it, then give it a go. To everyone else that's watching this, Sorare Mega is just a little side game. You can use your cards from Sorare. You don't have to pay or anything. You can do little boosts on it, on your card score. It's good fun.
There you go, mate. Yeah. Nice. Ricky T, what's your ramble this week?
Timu Puki's just scored and has pushed me over the 240 threshold this week. So
$5 in the pocket.
He's pushed you over the threshold.
Yeah, my ragtag bunch of 5 rejects all started and done well. My news for the week. We got MLB back. I played a bit of MLB last season. I quite enjoyed the different format of scoring. They can have 4 or 5 games a week. But it has relaunched. It's got the new Draft Your Commons, where you pick your own team from a nice draft lineup. But the main thing I like to talk about with these is the new card designs. Look at these bad boys.
They are fancy.
Oh, that's cool.
Is unique.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot. That looks nice.
Is that unique? Is it the purple?
Purple uniques, yeah.
Nice.
Well, I guess
pops, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's the blues.
Padres are my team.
Very futuristic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an improvement on last season's one. But yeah, I like the launch of the MLB this time. The new season's close and we hadn't heard anything, so a lot of people getting worried about it. But they dropped the new season stuff. They dropped the new marketing videos, and I actually think they're a decent improvement on what they've done before. They got some new some new sponsors in, some new big names. I think they had A-Rod in there, and Soto was in there. The main man, John Nellis, is featured in there. He's been doing a lot of videos. He's playing games with them and, silly stuff. So, yeah, I think it was, yeah, I think it was an improved launch on last year, a bit late in the day. But, yeah, I thought it was a decent, marketing push. I feel like they nailed the promotion a bit better this time. And, hopefully they can get momentum going for the new MLB season. So, hopefully MLB, once NBA is in the tail end now, the European football season's in the tail end. So, it'd be nice if MLB can have a bit of an upturn over the summer and help carry the platform through that bit of a dead spot that we hit. But yeah, Miami Marlins for the win. And on the design side,
when does the season start? Is it soon?
I think it's next. I think it's another week away.
Yeah.
It's really soon then. I didn't realize
because 6 days, 20 hours. Game week 1 starts on Sorare.
Nice.
What's the market like on the MLB, Rick? Have you had a look? Are they like super cheap to pick up or what?
Obviously it's been really dead in the off season and they reduced auctions right down, but there's cards constantly now, but it was really busy when it launched last season as well, and I picked up a lot of cards. There was a lot of cheap bargains knocking around. It's not that hard to build a team. I don't know anything about baseball, and I literally have
no idea.
I started buying random guys. I won quite a lot of prizes. I managed to sell a few of them. But yeah, it gives you a lot of information at the start of each game week. Who's the preferred pitcher for that game week and stuff.
Is that all your cards?
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
I'm pretty sure on the baseball, the scores add up. So if they have multiple games, they add the scores. So you know, in basketball, you pick the best score they score, and on football, you only get one score, which is the first game they play. I'm pretty sure baseball they add up, and they rip.
Yeah, it's cumulative. On baseball, it's on basketball, it's best ball. So, if they got 2 games, pick the best one. But yeah, there's a cumulative thing. So if there's someone out of 5 games that week, there's a rush to get them in. Here's the Boathouse, David Boat, one of 100 I bought in when we went out drunk when it launched. I managed to sell a few off to fund a bit of football as well over the MLB off season. And obviously the designs are really good, and the designs lead into the football side of things as well, because we've got the new MLS cards out. And they've got a fresh design. They got the logo in the back. I do like it. I think they're really nice. I think they're beautiful to look at. If you
they've come a long way, haven't they?
Come a long way from
the headshots where they couldn't show a single part of their shirt because of law and the rights or whatever.
The evolution of the cards from the big heads to what we've got now. They look really smart, and they've managed to make Shaqiri look about 7 foot in the new designs as well. Which
Swiss goat.
Jesse will be happy.
Yeah. We love the Shaq attack.
Nobody loves the Shaq attack.
The only one
form of letdown.
He's currently out again.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Why is his neck so thick as well? Like, what happened to him?
He's a little turtle, isn't he?
Yeah. Imagine his thick waistline. But
he's got a wand of a foot though. He's a good player.
Are you following Schafflerberg there? Your ex-lover?
I do, yeah. Look at his tash. He's glorious. The little
there's some really fantastic tashes on show on the new MLS cards, I've got to say. Is it Joe Willis? I don't know if you can just put him up in there. But his tash, I noticed earlier. I was thinking of just buying a full tash-based team.
That's a beauty, isn't it? Paxton Pomykal always had one. Sasha Kaleshkin had one. Obviously, he's retired.
Is his name? What's his name?
Which one? Sasha. He's retired.
I thought his name was Tasha. Then I was like, his name's Tash, and he's got a Tash.
I mean, we could call him Tasha as well.
I was just going to see if there's a rookie card anywhere. If I get rid of Willis, can I have a look at what the
maybe next week's content could be what's the best team you can build with Tashes?
Yeah, well, this is what I was saying. Like, you could 100% build a good team just from Tashes.
That's a nice hair as well.
Nice looking rookie card as well. It looks like he's got a Lego helmet on, but that is a nice looking rookie card as well. So yeah,
keeping on subject strong here, lads.
Yeah. So yeah, card design's really good. MLB, great marketing. Card designs for the new MLS as well. Love it. That's me.
Good man. Well, you segue perfectly into my section, which is MLS again. So obviously we've had the release this week of the new MLS cards. I think that was actually today, wasn't it? Or certainly I saw them pushing them out today. Yeah. and more importantly for me anyway is the MLS draft, because I think that's what's going to get people engaged, particularly now the way the market is. There's also all the people that are into their European leagues, Prem leagues. That if we really believe that everyone's coming across because of the Prem, odds are they probably won't get into America MLS that much this first season. The draft gives them that little window into it, and for people like me so I love the MLS. That's my favourite league because we haven't got most of the teams in Championship. And one massive gap for me was the Pro League, MLS Pro. So we obviously had the MLS limited or rare cards, but we weren't able to use the common cards alongside it because we didn't have a draft, whereas now we do. So for me, that like closes the gap. You don't need to own a goalkeeper in MLS. You can play with your limited goalkeeper. I think that's going to open up, again, a massive opportunity or interest for playing the draft, the MLS leagues this season. So yeah, for me, amongst all this sort of chaos and moaning, I'm actually really happy about it and positive about it.
Yeah, it's really good announcement. Like, I think so many people are into MLS, and I certainly think one of the reasons we like it is the time of the games. Like, it's so perfect for when you have a baby, or when you're, just busy all day. Just have that game at like 10 p.m. and then there's like another one at 12, like midnight. It's great, isn't it? And its standard of football is definitely better than
it's going up.
Than, say, if you look 20 years ago or whatever, 15 years ago, like standard football, like they probably all beat Everton, 100%.
Definitely.
I love it. It's my favourite league. Definitely on Sorare.
Yeah, and even in real life, it's actually really entertaining. And now they've got all the games on Apple. It's so accessible. So I think probably we'll see growth this season, and give it a couple of years, and it will be huge. Particularly for the UK audience. Like I say, we're already into it. So yeah, that's kind of my big focus this week. The other little thing that sort of tickled me a little bit was we had the hint or the message from Nicholas saying about the way of depositing changing. So historically, there's always been a real kind of barrier to entry, I guess you could say, with the whole crypto element and actually getting money onto a platform. And obviously, you can spend money on a credit card in auctions, but to actually deposit money was a pain in the ass for a lot of people, to put it frankly. Ramp helped it to a degree, but people still didn't really understand Ramp. I think the intent is to change that and make it super simple just to deposit money through your card onto the platform. Whether or not that happens soon or not, we don't know, because it's just a little response to a message that happened on Twitter. But again, amongst all this negativity, I'm feeling pretty positive. So yeah, that's me anyway. Yeah.
It's the most important thing they can do, I think, at this time to onboard people is make it with easy to deposit and withdraw, like you do on a betting site. Not that this is the same gambling. I want to put 20 quid in to buy that player. I want to be able to know that I can get my 20 quid out if I want it. Like just
the general football fan just wants ease, don't they? Like they want to be able to just do a quick bet, like you say, is almost like if you don't have that ETH in your thing already from sales or whatever, then you can't feeling where you're like, oh, I really fancy him suddenly.
It's a time thing as well, isn't it? Like either the auction's there or someone's on market sale or whatever it might. You don't have a lot of time in your day, so being able to just do it like that is, for me, I think that'll bring money to the platform. And just the amount of friends that we try and talk into playing it and that don't, and that's just one of the reasons they don't.
And I know it was just a little sort of winky sort of tweet from Nicholas, wasn't it, like he does occasionally. But all of those things he's done previously, like where he's winked or done a little emoji of a lion or whatever, have come to fruition. So,
he actually wrote "coming soon." Fine.
Oh, he did. Okay, fine. Okay,
and he's not naive enough to not know how reactive Twitter is as well. Yeah. So I mean, anything he does put like that, you got to say it's going to happen, isn't it? It's a matter of when.
Just needs to sort out Sorare mega prizes, and then he's sorted.
Yeah. Nagelsmann's just been sacked as Bayern Munich manager, and Thomas Tuchel's in.
Wow. A bit of live STC breaking news there.
Apparently, if you lose 2 games since September, that is enough to get a sack.
Wow.
Antoine Semenyo, Bristol City Legends, just scored his first international goal. And Italy have 1 goal back against England, 2-1. So they scored. Breaking news. Someone Italian.
Matteo Retegui Rizugui.
Oh yeah, that well-known player. Breaking news coming to you on Friday morning from Thursday evening.
Good point. I forgot that.
Anyway,
Right,
let's
on
get
to the
into
main.
it. The main segment. How low can Sorare go? So people say we're in a dip. I like to think of it more like a death slide.
It's more like the Grand Canyon of dips. Yeah.
It is, yeah, maybe a black hole. But the question is, was this coming all along? So we were, in my opinion, we were long overdue a market correction. So we've been on this platform since the early days of 2020. I watched it go from being super cheap to entry, but being probably riskier in terms of a growing platform and not established, to now being an established platform where there's lots of money in it. We're making regular money on it as well, but probably prices were rocketing past the point they should be. Again, in my opinion, I think it's probably time the community realign their expectations. We complain when prices are too high, and now we complain when prices are too low. The fact is, you got one out of 100 cards or 1 out of 1,000 cards, so you're always basing it on supply and demand. I think probably we finally got to the point where the market's realised there's X amount of cards out there, they will be auctioned. And actually, if I really want someone, I can sit around and wait a little bit, or there's other opportunities. What do you boys think?
Well, me personally, there was always going to be a correction anyway, I think, like you said. I think there was always going to be a very big correction after the World Cup, sort of, where there was I think there was 1 million entries one week, wasn't there, in the Common World Cup League?
It was something crazy. A lot of multi-accounting, obviously.
Yeah, and probably a lot of multi-accounting. But you had a lot of people come in there and sort of bump up a lot of prices, sort of get excited, and maybe they weren't that into the whole football so rare, wanted to make quick money. It's not quite like that, is it? You've got to sort of be clever. You've got to buy and sell. You can't just sort of just buy something and expect it to just go up permanently. Do you know what I mean? I think this is that.
It was too easy for too long, probably. I mean, maybe people could do that, and then it's got to the point where actually you have to work for it, and now people are realizing actually.
With the change in ETH thresholds, people were kicking off about the fact that they couldn't get 4 average scores in a DMP and win 25 quid of ETH every week. It's like
free money.
Don't get me wrong, I was loving it and farming it, but that was not feasible for Sorare to be giving that out, and quite rightly changed it to be that you only have to slightly do better than your average score to win some money, which I think is completely fine. No,
I gain more confidence in the platform that they're actually trying to protect their money and they're exactly. Running it as a business.
I think that probably that scared off a lot of people, that suddenly they couldn't just plug in and play their same 5 players every weekend, not have to worry about their average. Like they were probably plugging in like Mbappe and cards that, if you looked at their caps now, were probably averaging 350 points at least. Maybe not that much.
You could plug in shite and farm the ETH, couldn't you? I was doing it. I was playing shit players and winning ETH.
And you just get given £50 of ETH every week, and then because your cards were so good, you were probably winning a prize as well to add to that. I think people probably didn't realize how good they had it, and then now it got sort of taken away to a more realistic approach. I think a lot of people have pooped their pants and run away, but I'm not leaving. No way. But
I'm not leaving.
Not leaving. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to get much lower than this, to be honest. I think there's some exciting things on the horizon. What with a lot of adverts and even the MLS stuff today, I think is really great for the game. There's a lot of exciting things to come. Sorry, you go, Rick. What do you think,
mate?
No, I was just going to say on the points you made that you're right. There's a lot of entitlement from what we've been used to, that you should be given money, and I don't think you should win a card every week or win money every week. Like, you shouldn't have a return on investment that has to be realized in about 4 weeks. Your ROI could
nothing does that, does it?
Yeah, it should take years. And the whole point of it, I play it because it's fun. Like, if I didn't enjoy it and want to look at it every day, I wouldn't play it. I would never use this as an investment tool and be like, right, this is how I'm going to make money. So I'm doing it to make funds, to have fun. So if you're using it to make money, then I don't think you're in it for the right reason. And that makes you susceptible to these price falls and is what causes the panic. But then, I do understand, while I agree the entitlement and it was too easy and etc., I do also understand why people, when you put money in, you don't want to see your money fall. Like, there's a difference between winning cards and winning ETH each week and putting in a certain amount and then watching it crash by 70%. That is different. You would like your investment protected. You would like to think that the company's protecting your investment. So I can see why some people who have started recently put in £1,000 and it's now worth 400 quid, why you'd be like, what the fuck is this platform? Like, why is it constant? It's not nice to constantly see your player values going down. And it's got so cheap now. Every player I see is like, bloody hell, he is ridiculous. So it's a great time if you've got confidence to go in and pick up players, because there's some elite players that I would have never thought I could get that are now feasible. But it's about, do people have the belief? You see some top whales and stuff selling off.
So hard. It's so hard to resist, isn't it?
I'm all in, mate. I'm all in.
I must admit that it's the most worried I've ever been about, on the scale of money wise of what my port's going to be worth. I don't think the platform's going to go anywhere for a long time because they've got a lot of money. There's no signs of pressure coming in. They've got their marketing efforts are ramping up. They've got new partnerships, new ambassadors, new league releases, all the positive sounds coming out. There's no one being laid off. They're taking staff on. So everything, leads you to think that they'll be fine in the short to medium term anyway. But, you still want prices. You still want to see positive trends. You don't want to be on a platform for another 2 years that is in the doldrums. So, yeah, I am more positive this week than I have been the last few, because, you saw on Twitter today the TV ads popping up with the QR codes and stuff. And I think that's a good medium to use rather than just pitch side banners, just say Sorare, because if you just see a banner going along that says Sorare, you don't know what the fuck that means. So yeah, the TV ads have been given more context. I like to see that. The promise of the deposit and withdrawal changes are the biggest thing they can possibly do for me. So it's good that Nicholas has confirmed that those are like inbounds. I'd love to see the J League and the K League back, cover that summer boredom period. I think it's important when you've got negative like trends that we don't die off when the European leagues end and it's all on the MLS to go. I'd like MLS
keep momentum.
MLB,
Asia's like the OG as well. Like,
yeah, I love the J League.
I love
it's fun, isn't it?
And they're waking up in the morning and being like, and just WhatsApping all the boys and being like, DMPs! It's part of the fun, right? But then some weeks you'll be like, it will come off and you'll win something. But like, this is the thing with Sorare. I don't think it's the best fantasy football game in the world. Like, it genuinely is. Like, there's no other game. There's no other game that can offer you all these leagues and being able to enter them into one fantasy football team. It's just.
Well, again, we're 3 years in, right? So if this goes, or if we go to something else, you're waiting a while for it to happen. Like, you've got competitors like Ultimate Champions. But now, it doesn't even touch it, doesn't it? I don't, in my opinion.
Champions, don't get me wrong.
I find it boring right now, but that's because it's totally different.
I've got lots of cards in there, and I don't mind it, but it's not engaging to me. It's not engagement to me. Why I want to go on there to look, and I don't want to play Euro basket compared to NBA. Like, they're still progressing, so they're a long time behind Sorare. But yeah, at the moment they don't engage me on a daily basis like this one. But
so, Rick, I've got a building on your comments, which I agree with. I've got a different perspective to take on this, and I think probably the market have been watching the wrong thing, let's say. So all we hear talked about is portfolio, right? What is the value of my portfolio? Which is probably, definitely because we have Sorare data to value it, right? And obviously we can see the price of cards through playing Sorare. No one really talks about yielding. And I think that's like, as the market drops, there's even more opportunity to yield, as in, it used to cost £1,000 to buy a rare team, for example, that could yield you money, and it would take you 20 wins to get that money back. Now you can do that with potentially £500. So it only takes you 10 wins. So from a yielding perspective, ROI, it's actually better than ever. So if you believe in platform, in my opinion, invest or continue to play because you will yield. And secondly, those that have those portfolios that have gone from, like, I don't know, using ballpark example, 40k to 20k, let's say, it's kind of irrelevant because your assets are still yielding you money. So unless you're just holding assets to sell, like you do with stocks, for example, I don't think I think it's irrelevant, that number on your portfolio. Until you sell it, it's
Exactly.
literally irrelevant. It means that the best thing to do is not look at it, and you can even turn it off, right? Can't you? Which I think is quite a cool option. And I think what people need to start doing, and it will stress people out a lot less as well, is start looking at their yielding potential, their ROI, and build their portfolios towards higher yields. And if you do that, you'll start going, shit, I've only spent like X amount on this, and I've returned 156% or whatever it might be in this amount of time. And you'll have a lot of people that are suddenly spraying all over Twitter going, I'm absolutely smashing it. Look what I've done with this amount of money, blah, 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 rather than I've invested 10K and it's gone to shit. I mean, until the platform folds, it's still there.
Well, yeah, like you say, prices are now so low that your ROI on thresholds, becomes really appealing, right? I've seen a lot of people throwing around the David Marshall in goal for £9.
Yes,
so you can get quality. A limited team of start. I probably like 20, 25 quid. I reckon you could get something. The £10 goalie. Some of the prices are so cheap now. $5 back. You spend 25 quid, 30 quid, around that mark, and you can start winning one every 4 maybe, or something like that. 4 wins,
amazing,
5 wins, 6 wins, and you
could probably put a rare threshold team for like 350 as well. Like you could put together a limited and a rare threshold team right now, probably for a really good one for like £400, I reckon, total, maybe even less than that, which is like what's the thing? $50 for win?
$50, yeah.
So you're not going to win 8 in a row, but that might take you maybe 6 months, maybe 5 months to win that back. I just think it's win-win. I don't know what if I had the money right now, I'd be buying so many more cards. The
people suffering now, or the people that will suffer, are the short-term guys and girls that panic and just sell at loss, or the flippers, the people that bought in based on cap app, and we saw it loads with Football Index, right? Buy while platform's growing because it will just keep growing. It will keep growing, and I'll just sell it off at the top. And then people go, shit, we've hit like maturation phase. We've hit the point at which the market's like hit peak, and now it's dropping. And again, rather than buying to yield or like thinking about it in that way, they're going, fuck, my portfolio is going to shit. I need to sell before it hits the bottom, which for me is the wrong tactic. But equally, there's nothing wrong with selling while you're on a downside and taking a hit and reinvesting in something that can yield you more. That's the other thing, is like, there's a little, use Gil, for example, or Heel. I bought him for 250 quid and he's now 80 quid's worth. So like, if I thought I could do more with him with a rare card, I'll sell him regardless of taking that hit on him. I mean, I'm struggling. I'm not going to sell him because he's the GOAT, so I'm never selling him. But if there's another player in that similar situation, I think it should be considered. So, boys, what are you, just to kind of finish this segment? What are you doing with your, if at all, with your tactics? So, like, we are in, or have been in, and probably still are in, a downward market. What are you doing with your tactics? Are you changing anything? Are you buying? Are you switching league? Are you set? What are you doing? Go on, Rick.
I can show you what I've been doing here.
Yeah, go for it. Where are you? I've got so many of these. Is this you?
This one.
There you are.
Yeah. So I used it to pick up a Cade Cow. I mostly list nearly everything I buy just above what I bought, just in case. But I really want him, for example. I've used it to bolster. I bought this guy just because he was so cheap that it allowed me to fill out a team this week, and he's on 62 at the moment.
He's a good player. He was a good FI player.
It's given me opportunities. Like, I wouldn't buy these players normally because they're so cheap. I managed to pick up a Daniel Pereira, someone I really wanted.
Did you? How much was he?
Really well at. He's gone up quite a lot now because he's been performing really well. But he's one of my tips at the start.
He's quality.
I've been getting these players in who I wouldn't normally get. I picked up another rare goalie because I thought, I mean, he's probably cheaper now, but 14 days ago, I've used the opportunity to not stick in a load more money, but I've reinvested money that I might have taken out, to realize a bit of profit that I've used to buy some more cards. But these are players that like a Coman that I wouldn't normally have got 3 months ago at the prices they were. I've been looking at like I have a Bayern stack and I have a Man United stack, but I don't have Kimmich and I don't have Bruno and I don't have Rashford. But those prices are now viable, so it's given me options to look at upgrading my existing stacks and things like that. So that's what I'm using it for. I'm not really looking to put in more money because it has been going down. I've noticed a little bit of market sentiment maybe changing today, and I don't think there is much lower we can go just because of the yields that are on offer. But I've been using it to reinvest in higher quality players, and these guys from Ibiza because
we love Ibiza.
Yeah. So I think there is opportunity to get players that you wouldn't normally get, and that's what appeals to me.
Good man. So you're holding faith. I love it. John, what are you doing, mate? Do you want to get your screen up, or do you want to talk through?
I can share my screen. Much the same as Ricky, really. I mean, I've just ploughed what money. Is that working?
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm slightly different to Rick in the sense that I don't deposit more money in. I'm a sell to buy investor. So I might sell a card cheaper than I would have liked to, but because I'm buying immediately, I'm buying cheaper as well. So it sort of evens out really. So I bought Raul Garcia about an hour ago actually, which I'm really excited about. He's a young under 23. I think he's on loan from Real Betis to Mirandes in second division in Spain. They're not looking like they're going to get promoted. So if he stays there on loan, or should be good value. I've bought a Josip Satalo, who is an absolute goat. Plays for Dynamo in Croatia. I think we'll get onto this in the next segment, but I'm a big fan of his. You'll see his scores, but he's an insane scorer. Basically just picking up a few cards nice and cheap. We've got a Martin Terrier, obviously has torn his ACL, so he's out for a long time, but he had a dip anyway because of his injury, but this extra little dip now.
The injury market's been good. I saw a lot of people picked up Fekir.
I saw that.
Martin Terrier move you made there. A lot of people were after Fekir, yeah.
I just think, Fekir I probably wouldn't buy just because he's quite old, isn't he? And he's had quite a few
28,
injuries.
I think he's not old.
He's not finished.
Oh, maybe he's not finished. But Terrier is I think he was probably top 5, top 10 players on the platform.
Yeah, he's a baller, isn't he?
Absolutely insane. 25. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is, not only his recovery from ACL, is the fact that he'll go and join bloody West Ham or something.
He has got chocolate knees as well. This isn't the first time, mate. I hate to break to you.
Oh, is it? Okay, fine. I didn't know that. So those are all prizes. So yeah, I just bought a couple of players on the cheap, basically. Like Boris Lambert, for some reason his price just not for some reason, we know why their prices all went up, but his price was crazy low. He's getting linked to, I think, Union Saint-Gilloise, lots of big teams. He's young. I think his price, since I bought him 12 days ago, has gone back up to like 100 quid already. Carlos Soler as well. It's just, he's not doing very well at Paris.
I love him.
He's not doing particularly well at Paris Saint-Germain, but it takes this weird type of player to do well at Paris Saint-Germain. I think it's sort of like, it's almost like Chelsea in the way, like it can be a death of people's career a little bit for a year or two, because it's just so difficult to sort of get in the team and have a prolonged period of time playing. But I think I paid 40 quid for Carlos Soler Rare, which is just insane to me. I think he'll probably leave at the end of the season with hopefully Fabian Ruiz, who's our ex-lover, Fabian Ruiz. Yeah, just much like Ricky, really. I completely trust in the game. Like, I love the game. I think there's a lot of people leaving now that don't really understand the game. So I'm not too worried about all that. And I'm also not. It's good for me because of it's sell to buy, if that makes sense as well. Like I said earlier, so I might sell some cards at cheaper than I want to, but because I'm buying cards with the money, it's cancelling each other out.
You're in a total risk-free position, isn't it? So it makes a difference, really.
You know,
it's more about your enjoyment.
Exactly. But yeah,
Nice.
I really haven't changed anything, to be honest.
Like it, mate. I'll chuck mine up.
What about you? Yeah.
See that?
What's your tactic? Sell, and then buy a whole new.
I did tell you. I don't know if you see this little bad boy. I did tell you that when international break comes in, I do tend to buy Swiss. What have I done? So I've probably to the point when did I start? We had our 220. So I won this Toby Sibek. So everyone was going mad about how good the prices were. I might as well got this from Sorare Mega because this guy is toss. Then what else got? I got Harvey Barnes, which is another prize. I bought Robin Janssen just for my stack for oh hello, it's all gone. Bought Robin Janssen for my stack just because I've got a lot of the Orlando boys, so he fits in with my MLS tactics. And then what I'm trying to do, as you can see from these last three, and also he's gone now. These last three is I'm trying to make the transition to rare. So I'm using the opportunity of the market crashing and rares becoming more affordable. I'm basically using either trading. So Xhaka, I traded a couple of my limiteds, my stud limited MLS players, traded a couple of those and about £6 of ETH. So I didn't really spend anything at all on Xhaka, who I've wanted for ages. I got him for probably the equivalent of £100, which I think is pretty good for what he is. And he's like my favourite player, so I'm happy to pay whatever he is. And if the platform dies, I'll hold it forever, so that's fine. Iwobi was £150 when I put him on my target list. I got him for £76 the other day, which I thought was an absolute steal.
Because he's absolutely incredible, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. He's a toffee. So
I mean, he is good. He's underrated. People give him a hard time. Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but you started talking about Everton.
Go on. You know it. Go for it.
He's really good. Like he's been really good for us for 2 years, honestly. Genuinely, he has. I mean, I know it's probably not hard to stand out in an Everton team right now, but he's been very good. I think he's top 5 in chances created in the Premier League out of all clubs right now. We just don't have anyone to put in the net. That's all. But anyway,
what I like about him, mate, is he's a forward. Yeah. It's really hard to find forwards on the game, especially in the Prem. His scores are he hits 50s ish without scoring a goal or assist. So it's pretty solid for your cap teams. And if Everton go down, which I would love, and he played there, then obviously he'll smash it in that league. They probably won't go down. They'll stay in the Prem, and then they should grow, so they won't struggle. And if he plays in a non-struggling team because he's creative, I think he'll do a lot better. So I actually think he's got growth in him.
This is the thing. He's still scoring well in a really bad team. If we can either get Calvert-Lewin back fit, which hasn't been for about a year, or get someone in and stay up, hopefully is the main thing. But get a striker in, then if we just need to get someone who can put the ball in the net, to be honest with you, and then we.
But yeah, so to answer the question, I'm building a rare team, a rare Euro team whilst the opportunity presents with this drop. And as you can see, I'm going to get into this. Got my rare starting keeper for 0.15 ETH to 11, which is a bit of a joke, I think, for when you think about what keepers can and are in terms of prices. So yeah, that is me. Let's hide this one. So next segment, before we get onto it, boys, in 10 seconds, market, how low can it go? Is it going lower or is it going up, John?
I don't think it goes any lower than this currently, personally. I think it's going to probably go up, but not hugely up. And then I think it will get back to, normality pretty soon.
What's normality? All-time highs or what we're saying?
I don't think all-time highs. I think it just is going to plateau at sort of 75% of what it was selling for during the World Cup sort of thing, when it was at its absolute peak. But then, it'll be the Euros and the World Cup again. So it'll probably go up again. It's going to go up and down like it does.
Nice. Ricky T?
I don't think we ever go back up to where we were. Supply is too much nowadays. I think we could probably go a little lower even. I think there is definitely a new normal to come. I've watched Steph Curry go for 6 ETH yesterday. His unique. So yeah, I think the top level cards, I'm not sure they ever get back to where they were. We'll definitely have another rise. But I'm not sure our peaks will be back to where they were. I think, I don't think we're getting enough new people in to meet demand. Supply, sorry. So yeah, I think we go a little lower. End of European season, that would be great. But yeah, I think we'll go back up. But how far up we go is the question. But yeah, I think long term the platform's secure anyway. But I just think the prices will be a bit lower than we used to.
Yeah, I'm with both of you. I think I think we're going to see a little bump in the next week, or in the short term we'll see a little bump. Then I think it's going to decline. I actually think we're going to decline again. So I think we're going to have a hard summer just because European League shut and MLS interest visibility is still average unless you're into it. Then I think as new European season is coming, that's when I think we go back up again. Not back to all-time highs, maybe for 50% of all-time highs max type of thing, which is a good thing because we keep barrier to entry lower and expectations lower. And if people want to piss off, they can. And if you're there for the long run, then great. So yeah, that's me. Anyway, right.
They've got to get Asia back. Get him back.
Get them back.
Get him back in.
Next segment.
Next.
MLS draft, right? So
you deviated
boys, with the new draft that's just been added, we've obviously all got our own teams. I think we're gonna switch it up a little bit in terms of this is gonna be our area of focus now for our competition between the boys.
Beat the boys, season 2.
The boys, season 2. Obviously we're gonna come into the prize at the end, aren't we, Rick? Unless you want to do it now, up to you.
No, we'll do that thing at the end. So keep everyone waiting. You don't want to give them an easy out. Keep them on to the end of the show.
But we're gonna do a little sneak peek at the teams we've got, right, boys? So, John, Rick, who wants to go first?
I can go. I got mine up on screen if you like.
Yeah.
Here I will share with you again. So I've done mine quickly. I haven't checked for internationals. I didn't really think about that. I know I've got Tolu, who's away, but I'm not starting him this week. So my goalies, I went for Sean Johnson, who I think can get better with the Toronto defense. I think they can improve. And I got Dane St. Clair. I was looking for a 40. He's only 41. And I actually think he's quite a good keeper. And they've got some quite good fixtures. So home to the Whitecaps, for example. So, these are subject to change. But I kept having a lot of budget left over, I found, because I kept going for players that I like. Because I'm so involved in the league, I wasn't thinking with my brain. I was thinking with my heart. I've got Kai Wagner at the back because he's probably one of the best fullbacks in the league. They didn't have John Tolkien on the draft when I was looking. Was someone I would have, been interested in. They didn't have Bo up front as well, and there was a few others that I was looking at. So I'd like to get Crep in goal. He's my boy. When Crep is back, Crep is nailed as my number one. Whoever they've got.
Check.
Yeah, I've got Tolo because I think Sounders are good and he's got great scoring potential. He's obviously on international duty. But at the moment, with the way the team is, I can afford to carry that budget till next week. Drosy is class and is only 54. Him and Austin haven't had the best start to the season. But I think he can get better. So I'd like to get him in while he's at 54. Striker, I kind of struggled with. I got my boy Cade Cal season, because I wanted a 40. I just wanted a 40 placeholder and he starts every game. And I went for his strike partner, Ep6, because I just sold his super rare. So I wanted a small piece of him back in my heart. So I got him in. He's definitely one that might get changed out before this is secured. But Kralic was another one. I swear he was 40 when I picked him up, and he now says
he was 40 earlier, 100% when I drafted about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I drafted him because he was 40, so I don't know whether I've got in with some cheat code now and I can't afford to let him go. So if that's the case, he's definitely staying if I can keep him at 40.
He's got a good matchup, which is why I think
cash in the profit, mate. 16 profit.
Yeah, so he probably won't be going anywhere if he still counts as 40 in my team. So this is what I'm running with at the moment. I mainly based it on matchups, apart from Toronto. this is the reason I wanted to get rid of Ep6. I think I was actually going to start Dane St. Clair, so my keeper didn't play my striker. But I like them home to Whitecaps. I like them at home to Rapids. Wagner's at home, Ep6's at home, and Krelic, I think St. Louis crumble this week. So, yeah, I went for 5 home matchups for players I like. That is me.
Nice, mate. I think Louis crumble this week as well. They got a little bit lucky. I think they've been overhyped, personally.
Yeah. The end of
John, you ready?
Yeah.
You got your screen up?
Yeah, is that working?
There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
Let's go.
I've got a couple players the same as Rick. So I've gone for Brad Stuver in goal. I know Austin haven't started particularly well this season, but I think they're going to be top team for the season. They're probably going to be up there at the end of the winning the cup at the end, whatever it's called, the MLS Cup. I've got Dewey. I've got Wagner as well. Obviously, he's one of the goats of defence in MLS. Who's my other option in defence? I can't remember now. Remind me who it is. Oh, it's him. Here we go. I've got Justin Glad's my other defender in option. I've got his rare in the game, and he is like sneaky underrated.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's really good on the ball. He actually scores quite a lot of goals. He sort of scores around 5 goals a season, I think, which is pretty decent for a defender. He only costs 48 as well, which I think is cheap. He's got a good fixture this weekend. I think they playing St. Louis this weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty good. I got Drew Easy, obviously. He's the boy. He's cheap. Probably cheap because he doesn't start the season particularly well, but he's going to be quality for the season. My other midfielder, I've got Evander, who I thought at 47 was crazy.
He's 47. Oh, he's well past
Yeah,
it.
that's cheap.
I don't know if that's an error and they're going to change that, but
he has a shit start, hasn't he?
He's had a poor start.
A little bit. He scored in one of the games, and I know he's injured in the last game, so maybe it's not a serious injury. But anyway, I've got him in as a backup. I won't be starting him this weekend, but and then my 2 strikers I've got as Luis Araujo, who is probably one of the best strikers in the league. Plays for Atlanta, who are going to be a very good team, as they usually are.
Do you know he's not rated, as in people think he's massively underperforming, but this season is now suddenly switching on.
Well, maybe, but I'm hoping
his XG was higher than his expected goals last season was higher than pretty much everyone in the league, but he kept literally passing the ball to the keeper. Whereas this season, he's now seems to be scoring. So I actually think he's probably going to absolutely smash it this year.
Well, that's music to my ears. I've got Jordan Morris as well. I thought, I would have thought it would be more than 45, to be honest, especially he's had a pretty decent start to the season. Always nice. Always nice to have a bit of Seattle as well in your team.
He was on my shortlist. He's on my shortlist.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to mention, which is an absolute travesty, is Zelarayan is not on this game. For some reason, they randomly just don't have players sometimes, like what they did in Italy with some teams not being on it. So I don't know whether Zelarayan sold his face rights to Nivea for men or something, but he's not the game.
Player. Come on.
He's not the game. I've got his rare, I've got his limited, and I can't have his. Anyway, I'm pretty sure about it. I almost left so rare today.
I think we should leave, mate. Yeah, let's sell up.
Yeah, I'll sell you my portfolio for 10 quid.
Let's join Gokka.
Oh, God.
Don't mention his name on our stream, please.
Anyway, so that's my team. Pretty solid, I think.
I like it, mate. That's strong. Very strong.
Up, I would like to apologise to Jackson Yule for not having him in my team. You're my goat.
Yeah, mate. You said he was going to be in your team.
Yeah, where is he?
I really wanted Dennis Boanga as well, but he's got the international duty this week, isn't he?
I did the same, and he's quite affordable, so he's one that you can trade out next week.
Yeah, he'd definitely be in mine. He's probably my first transfer in.
I love it. And one more thing I wanted to quickly say, I know you've got to do yours, Jesse, is I wanted to shout out to at MLS Expert ITA on Twitter, because
he's good, isn't he?
Because he did a massive thread of all the players that have gone on international duty. And I literally just had that to the side when I was doing this. So
yeah, I did the same. Him and Sorare USA, like the two guys.
I presume they both subscribe and watch this video. So.
Oh, they must do, yeah, religiously.
Shout out to them for helping us all out.
Right, boys, can you see mine on screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So who have I got? I've gone for Drake Callender as my keeper this week specifically, because he's playing Chicago and Chicago are shite. So I'm banking on him hitting a clean sheet. Dane Sinclair's back up because, like Ricky, I think he's class. He's probably my top 3 favourite keeper in the league. I've gone at the back, Yaimar is my first choice defender, but Brandon Bye this week because he's playing against DC. DC are typically better at home, so it's a little bit risky, but they still concede a shitload of goals. So like they're probably going to concede 2 to 3 goals. They've done it pretty much all preseason and into the season. So I'm thinking Brandon Bye, someone who peaks, is probably going to hit like 70 plus if he gets an assist. I've got Drusy because he's the GOAT in terms of strikers, even though they're playing him in midfield, and he's way too cheap.
Sorry, did you say GOAT? You spelled Jackson Ewell wrong, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate. Showing my second choice mid is Matthijs Glick. So he's obviously recently moved to DC. As I said, they're at home. They perform better at home. Although I think they'll concede goals, I think Glick will actually have a good game. He's on 38 here as a score. He's on form. And yeah, if you watch the games, he's pretty much their best player. Ebob BC, same as you, I think, Rick up top. And I've got Araujo as my other striker. I've picked Araujo because I'll play him next week, but Ebob because I think Toronto are going to get goal shit past them. So yeah, that is my team for the week.
Good stuff.
So we all got Drusy.
Can not have Drusy, can you? Come on.
Not at that price.
He's too good. He's far too good. So next up, we are going into the international Pick'em Bin'em, boys. Who wants to go first?
Rick, you want to go first, mate? Go on.
Sure. Pick'em Bin'em. Jess, are you going to pull up the players? So
yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah.
My Pick'em is Hodor Magnusson.
Hodor.
My sweet Icelandic prince,
yes,
legend.
Up on screen.
Oh no!
Right, he's just decided to leave the screen.
he couldn't deal with you saying Hodor Magnusson for the 188th time this year.
Yeah, instead of cancelling his own, he's cancelled his actual. I can imagine.
You can continue talking about him if you want, mate. How many Hodor Magnussons have you got on sale right now whilst pumping him?
Well, I did actually buy 50 Hodor Magnussons to complete the achievement in the club section. You know, the one. The one that
yeah,
I did that. So I bought 50 Hodor Magnussons, most of them limited, but I did have a super rare and a rare as well. Ex-Bristol City legend. He bought the Viking clap to Ashton Gate, the king of the long throw.
Is that an STD?
Yeah. Killer, mate. You need a lot of cream to get rid of that. Anyway, he sadly moved to was it Greece, wasn't it? He moved to
Panathinaikos, mate.
Yeah. So
I'm just getting up now because I got kicked off the stream. Rick, here you go.
So he became useless apart from his international duties. He started for Iceland tonight. He's very cheap. He's nailed on in the Iceland squad, and they've got a nice fixture at the weekend. So my Pick'em is pull him out of the bin for this weekend and allow yourself to enjoy the sweet Icelandic prince for 2 game weeks. So hold on, for me. And my bin them. I am binning Memphis Depay. I'm walking in Memphis, but not this weekend because there's been a lot of flu around. I think flu or some virus in the Dutch camp. He's already been rejected by Man United, rejected by Barcelona, and now he's being rejected by me at Thursday Club. French juggernauts, you know, when you look at their team, it's frankly ludicrous, and I predict he's snuffed out by them and has 0 chance of returning a good score. So you can rely on me.
Is he actually good at football as well?
Is he good?
No, I'm not sure.
He's good at rapping, apparently.
He's a rapper.
He started well at Atletico, I believe, but yeah, I wouldn't be touching him this weekend. So
he's good at getting good moves, isn't he? And lots of money, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah, so that is mine. Pick'em Bin'em. Magnussen
Nice.
to pay.
Tornado,
Yes.
who's your pick'em?
So my pick'em this week is someone I've just bought because I was looking into him and he is insane. So it's Josip Sitalo. I don't know if you're going to get him up on Sorare Data if you can, Jess. Or
Yeah, we're on screen, mate. Don't worry.
No, you're not.
you're
Oh
not.
no.
Just thought you
Ah,
didn't.
well,
Just thought you didn't want to show my tips. Do you want me
Yeah.
to
No,
there you go,
it
mate.
kicked me
There
off, that's
we
why.
go.
Sorry, mate.
So,
I'm
Joseph
sabotaging
Sitalo.
you.
So I mentioned him earlier briefly.
So this is
under
the
20.
pump. Yes, we can just clarify this is a pump.
Well, it's not a pump because I've bought one already and I'm not trying to sell him. So there's no pumping going on.
So you bought one, but you're not trying to pump
So you
him.
bought one
but
today, and now you're
pump him a
promoting
little
it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, no,
So
that's not a pump, is
basically,
it?
it's not a pump, is it? It's not a pump, I don't think.
It's a
I wouldn't know what a pump. I wouldn't know what a pump is, mate. It's been way too long. Right.
You wouldn't know
Anyway,
a pump if a trainer hit you in the face.
so he is. If you go on all rather than 1 year. Go on all at the top there, Jesse.
So we're going to go past a year, are we? To prove worth.
Okay. Oh, look at those scores. He's an absolute machine. Also, what I like about him is he was dirt cheap, so he cost me 0.015 limited. Now this is. His AA is unreal. He's probably going to start for Croatia because Lovren's announced he's retired, so he's going to come in and play alongside. Who's that other bloody amazing defender they've got? He plays for Red Bull Leipzig. I can't remember his name, but he's going to be
skinned alive.
Yeah, it's skinned alive, but other than that, he's insane.
He's a very good defender, yeah.
Carlo is the boy. They're also in. I know I'm sort of honorary Welsh, but they are playing at home to Wales this weekend, and Wales are absolute dog crap at the moment. I mean, they were crap.
Yeah.
They were crap whilst having Bale, and Bale's now retired to the golf course. I think we watched the World Cup together. I think Wales were probably the worst team in the whole World Cup. So I think they'll absolutely smash Wales. He's an AA monster. I think he's going to do really well. So that's my pick-em for this week. Binham, I've gone for a player that most people will just plug in and play, but it's Martin Odegaard.
Ooh.
So obviously this isn't me saying you should sell him. Like, definitely don't sell him because he's insane.
I spelled perils.
But they're playing Spain away. I think Spain obviously didn't do that great at the World Cup, but in terms of they got knocked out, but they looked pretty good. I think they're going to get smashed by Spain. Norway don't have Haaland, so everything's going to be resting on Odegaard's shoulders. I just don't think he's going to do that well this week. So unless he's your only option, I wouldn't be starting Odegaard this week, and I don't own him, by the way, before you ask.
Just trying to sell him.
But yeah, that's my Binham. Stick him in the bin, mate.
Nice.
Done with him.
Like it. So, after mocking you for someone who you own, I'm going to do a little pump myself.
So you're going to pick the latest person you've bought as well. Oh, there we go.
Literally last man I bought. Got to put your mouth where your money is. So I've gone for Peter Vindal. So I don't know if you boys know him. He played for AZ, was their first choice keeper, and then he lost his place. So he just go over historical data. So he was in the side for as number one for quite a period of time. And bear in mind he's 24, I think, 25. So he's in the side for quite a period of time, hitting decent scores. Only ever out if he was injured. He then got dropped, and they replaced him. And then he's come back into play because he made a move to Nuremberg, so in the German Division 2. He's only moved on loan, but my theory is, why move on loan unless you want, unless you're really interested in playing first team football, especially moving to the German second division. I can't see him going back to AZ and sitting on the bench for a season. I think he either stays at Nuremberg, although I don't know if they can actually afford him, and he's replacing a keeper who's injured, so I'm told. So potentially he moves somewhere else. But anyway, his scores to date within Nuremberg, eliminate those two outliers, are pretty strong. I've had a look at Nuremberg, and they're like a mid-table side. So they're pretty comfortable. It's not an issue. And the main reason I'm pumping him right now is because he's a starting goalie for 211 quid. Like that to me is a joke.
It's crazy.
$50 ETH grind in, 5 victories, you've made him back. Again, it's not as simple as that. You're not going to win every time, but if you are looking at it from a yielding perspective, I think he gives you as good a chance for your money as most out there. Rick, you showed Neto earlier. I think he's like probably around 300-ish, maybe a bit lower. Like he's another similar type of keeper that like I think is way too cheap based on yield.
Does this guy play for Denmark?
He's the backup for Denmark, which is again, yeah.
I was going to say then, if you said this was an international one, then you snuck in a club one. But if he's a backup, I'll let you off.
No, historically, he's always been backup. But I mean, he was backup at 23, so he's 25. He's always been first choice keeper. He's just lost his spot at AZ.
I think quite a good low sort of 46 is quite good for cap 240 as well. I think.
Yeah.
So it's
always nice. He put that 2 in, did he? Did he get a score of 2?
Got 2. I don't even know how do you get a 2?
That's actually really good. That's actually really good for you though, because that just like brings his average down so much.
So your international pick them for the weekend is the
international sub keeper. Yeah, I always try and find a little.
So he'll be really useful
loophole.
people to pick this weekend, will he? He's your pick 'em for the weekend. The sub goalie for Denmark, who will get 0.
No, I thought we were on toilet tip.
I was wondering what you're on about. I was like, the German second division league playing this weekend? I was like, I swear they're not playing.
Hold Vindal in your mind for toilet tip later. Thanks for pointing out at the end, right? So, let's start again. My pick'em.
Is he your toilet tip because he's Vindal Lou?
My pick'em was going to be Brilliant Bolo, but he got injured. So actually, what we went for was Remo Freuler, right? So Remo Freuler, there's always a backup in the bag. Remo Freuler, 39 as your cap option. So I'm seeing him as your choice if you're playing 220 cap or potentially 240 if you need to fit him in. Pick up a rare or red for 23 quid, or you're limited to 3. So for me, I'm going right. Pick up a rare just for international duty. He typically plays for Switzerland. He does rotate a little bit with like.
He's bloody Swiss.
Yeah, of course he is. He does rotate a little bit with oh Christ, the guy that plays in Germany. I've now forgotten his name. But there's 3 or 4 midfielders. Say again.
Vindal.
No.
Jibril Sal.
There you go, Sal. Thank you. So he does rotate a bit, but typically he plays. But in the World Cup, he had 90, then 54 minutes, and that's because Sal played that game. So he plays. Yes, he's not a great scorer typically, but he fits within your 220. And at 23 quid during the international break, for me, it's like a no-brainer. Switzerland have got Belarus next to a shite. The only thing with that I would say is they are away and they've got like a really horrible history. So there is a chance that game gets called off because it's pretty dangerous. But if it doesn't, then I think you got yourself a good card there.
What you mean? History is in Belarus and Switzerland are like arch rivals, are they?
Yeah.
They? What's the history there, though? Give us a history lesson.
I'm not sure we've got time for a history lesson tonight.
Yeah. I'll do a separate pod for the history lesson on Belarus versus Switzerland. Just trust me. So my sit-em, KDB. KDB is obviously an awesome player. His price is a joke because he's very good at football. He was shite at the World Cup, but he's been better since he's come back. Scores, he's peaking again, as he always does. Why am I dropping him? Basically, they're playing away against Sweden. I just don't rate Belgium. I think KDB might be on his, basically towards the end of his Belgium career. It just, for some reason, it doesn't click. I think for the money he costs and also the other options out there, drop him.
Yeah, I agree.
Any objection to that?
He had a massive argument with his teammates as well, didn't he, at the World Cup as well? I think.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Like someone that good, it's just not working.
Who's their new manager as well now, Belgium? They got a new manager.
Can't remember. Martinez has somehow gone somewhere else as well, though.
Martinez somehow keeps getting better jobs. I just don't know how. It
persistently moves on, even though he's shite.
I know. I can't remember who got the new Belgium job, but
yeah. But anyway, so that is start and sit and complete. Next up, toilet tip of the day. We've already done mine. Vindal, aka Vindaloo. Boys, who's next?
I'll happily go. I've gone for Max Wober. I think it's Max
Wober.
Wober.
In the Austrian league.
Yeah, Max. Well, no, he plays for Leeds.
Oh, he's
now.
Leeds now, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's Leeds. He's pretty solid. He's doing all right for Leeds, I think. But he's started for Austria. They're playing Lithuania at home this weekend, so I think that's going to be an easy victory.
Strong scores for Austria.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing, he's cheap. He's cheap as well. He's £10 for a limited. He's got lots of good AAs. He's another one of those sort of players like the Castro Montes player that I like to refer to. He's kind of can score really well or can get -10 AA. So
yeah,
I kind of
like hundreds in there as well.
Yeah, I kind of like players like that personally because I really think it can lead to better prizes. You'll have some annoying weeks, but yeah,
it's very positive fixtures there, mate. Look at those two. Christ.
Yeah, 2 good fixtures. Also, another thing that I think is good is their Austria's first game of this international break is on Friday evening, and which will be the first lot of games for the Sorare game week.
Nice.
So if that makes sense, like I think sometimes if you're picking a player that is playing their second game of the game week, is a bit riskier because there might be a bit of rotation. Quite often with these international breaks, there's a team will play. For instance, England played Italy, who are by far their best team in the group apart from them. And then who have they got next week? Like Ukraine at home. So you think there'll be a fair bit of rotation there, and it's similar for a lot of the other leagues. So I think Wober is their starter, and it's their first game in this game week at the start. So I think he's a solid one to start for you.
Nice, like it. Ricky T, who you got for us?
Yep, I'm going for Man United players. Not often you get to pick a Man United player as a toilet tip. I'm going for Marcel Sabitzer, Man United, but obviously this weekend, Austria is his point of reference for Sorare. I think he had a knock, but he's apparently shaking that off. He's a key figure for Austria in the middle of the park. Probably going to be playing alongside, I think it's Seiwald and Lehmer. I'm probably butchering those names, but I know I'm talking about. The reason I think he's a great toilet tip this weekend is he's home to Azerbaijan tomorrow night, which is a cheeky little plum fixture to start. And you can relate that toilet tip to his club as well. He wants to stay at United. He's just scored his first goal for them, that lovely little back heel to complete the comeback 2-1 victory in the last game after Fulham decided to riot and get half the squad sent off. £9 for a yellow, 65 quid for a red. Solid investment who I think is going to have a very solid night's work tomorrow night against Azerbaijan. So, yeah, Marcel Sabitzer for short and long term. Get him in your squad.
I've also just realised that I said an Austrian player as well and said they're playing Lithuania at home tomorrow, and actually they are playing Azerbaijan, so you're right. Yeah, apologies to the Lithuanian fans out there.
Yeah. We've got a lot of them on this pod, mate. Right. We are tight on time, lads. 220, cap 220. Are we going to go through it or should we just post it?
We'll go through it next week.
I think save it for next week, I reckon. It could be a nice little feature.
We can talk about our lineups that we've got for the weekend because we haven't got games from this weekend. So we'll move that to next weekend.
Right. Well, then let's finish then with the comp. So, Ricky T, you're in charge of the comp.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put myself on screen. Sorry, I was just bidding on Jackson Yule's one of 1,000 in the background.
Is that to make up for not picking him?
It's going quite high, actually, considering his last one was £3.55, and I'm already up to £8.72, but I will not let my prince go. So what do I need to show you? Private leagues. So Beat the Boys Season 1. This was Premier League Amateur. We are down here. And the final standings. Let's actually show you what happened in the last week. So in the last week, 10 people finished above us. Johnny himself was number 11. So 10 people finished above him. I was down in 25th, and Jesse, as usual, was last of the three of us. Down there in 29th to complete a terrible season for him. Overall results, I finished 4th, Johnny finished 6th. So we put up a strong showing for the Sorare Thursday Club. Jesse, on page 2.
I've seen a theme here, mate. I'm seeing a theme.
3. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Page
There he
4,
is.
31st place. So we had
Really
3 people finish above us, but obviously the rare is the monthly winner. So the monthly winner was Hammy Dissom. Hammy Dissom, Big Hammy. Hamid in the house. You
Big
are
win
the
for
first
Hammy.
monthly winner of the Thursday Club Beat the Boys. We will hopefully start season 2 tomorrow with the MLS Amateur League. It's not currently available to select. So if we can't get it done by tomorrow, week 1 of that will be next week, but that'll run till the end of April. So we'll send that details out on our Twitter at SR_Thursday Club. Give that a follow and you'll be able to keep up with everything that we do on there. But obviously, the first thing we need to do is find out who won the last week. So these 10 names here are all in the draw. They've been added to the random wheel picker. Let's see who wins the yellow for that week. Let's spin the wheel.
Is it sharing?
Forgot to share it.
Yeah.
You get the little egg. Hey_12071. You finish.
Hey.
3rd in the week, and you have been picked to win a yellow. Or there is one red in here as well, because we had a spare red, so we chucked it on the wheel. So available prizes for you are Alassane Plie, Taxi Fontas, Javi Jimenez Rare, a Matt Turner Limited, the Arsenal goalkeeper, or a Tim Ream Limited, the Fulham defender. So we'll give it a spin now. You need to contact us on here or Twitter, or just drop us a line and we will give you the prize. If not, it will roll over. So let's give this a spin and see who you win. Oh, that's strong.
Oh, Plie.
I like Plie. He's a good player.
That is my card.
That's a decent win, that.
I think I bought him for over 120 quid back in the day. I don't know what he's. So yeah, he is now yours if you get in touch with us before next week's show. Drop any of us a message or the Sorare Thursday Club Twitter or YouTube. So yeah, congratulations. And now we have one more task to do. We'll move to another wheel that I have prepared. This is for our boy Hammy. Congratulations. Thanks for your support. One of the first followers. We have put in for you a Mark Rocker, the lead. He's a Bayern Munich card, but he's now at Leeds.
Good player.
Ahmed Tuba, good scorer from Turkish League. Dedrick Boyata, the Belgium special edition card. And Dornado has chucked in a Jonathan Dos Santos. I don't know who he is, but he is also in there for you. So good luck. All the best. And we will send this over to you probably tomorrow or Saturday. But good luck. And here's what you've won.
Oh, this is exciting. I'm nervous. Tuba's good. Oh,
Dedrick Boyata.
nice.
Not bad at all.
You have won Club Bruges' Dedrick Boyata, and it is his Belgium special edition card. So yeah, congratulations. We will send that over to you in the next couple of days. And yeah, make sure you enter for next week, next month. See if you can keep hold of your title. But yeah, keep checking out the Twitter account for details of season 2.
Good man. Thank you, Ricky T. So, gents, that's it. It's been a pleasure, as always. We are now at that time where we have to say goodbye. So, anyone that's made it this far, as always, please like, retweet, and more importantly, please subscribe to the channel. Please. Pass the love. And we will see you guys. We'll see you guys for another installment next week, maybe.
Up the Thursday Club.
Up the toffees.
Up the toffees.